This is truly one of the greatest political scandals in American history. And reporters at legacy outlets, some of which are sitting in this room today, like the New York Times and the Washington Post, were ridiculously awarded Pulitzer Prizes for their perpetuation of this hoax. It's well past time for those awards to be stripped from the journalists who receive them. It is
Ladies and gentlemen, before I show you exactly what Karoline Leavitt has to say about what they just uncovered about Obama and about before Trump even entered office, what they did, that is now all on documents and the DNI exposed as well. It's all making sense now. And Obama is panicking because, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's going to happen. And you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say this. Many of you guys lived through this, and now you get to see all of this coming out. John Bolton has been indicted. James Comey has been indicted. Is Christopher Wray going to be indicted? Like all these people that are involved. What about Mike Pence? Well, let's just take a look. Obama's panicking.
All of these indictments caused Obama the other day on a podcast to say that right now democracy is being threatened.
Yeah, I know. He says that all the time. He's the one that threatened it by spying on my campaign. He started it. Obama spied on my campaign, and he did it knowing it was illegal. He knew it was illegal. But he started the whole thing, and there were a lot of dishonest people, and I suspect they'll be caught.
Wow. He suspects that they'll be caught. Now, again, how many of you guys thought that this would be impossible? Is this possible? Well, let's actually take a deeper look as to what's going on and at the White House, right? During these press conferences, right, from the press secretary, as she's breaking down exactly what they have found. Now it's all making sense. Listen to how she explodes as to what they have found and how it's now all coming together. And it could lead to an ex-president being indicted, which, again, we've seen before when Trump got indicted. So I don't think it's impossible, but I thought that maybe, hey, I wasn't sure, because even Steve Bannon said that he was worried that the Trump administration wasn't going to take down the deep state, right? The deep state, the people who tried to stop Trump from being president. I mean, just take a listen to what they found.
Another matter, over the past few days, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard has unveiled shocking new evidence that former President Barack Obama and top aides in the Obama administration conspired to subvert President Trump's 2016 election victory and undermine the democratic will of the American people. While publicly pretending to engage in a peaceful transfer of power, in private, former President Obama went to great and nefarious lengths to try to sow discord among the public and sabotage his successor, President Trump. The new evidence released by the Director of National Intelligence, who is here with me today, confirms that the Obama administration manufactured politicized intelligence, which was later used as the justification for baseless smears against President Trump in an effort to try to delegitimize his victory before he even took the oath of office. The truth is that President Trump never had anything to do with Russia, and the Russia collusion hoax was a massive fraud perpetuated on the American people from the very beginning. And the worst part of this is Obama knew that truth, and so did all of the other corrupt officials involved in this scam, including former CIA Director John Brennan, former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper, former FBI Director James Comey, former Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, and many others. Director of National Intelligence Gabbard's report further confirms what we already knew. There was no collusion, no corruption, except on the part of Barack Obama and the weaponized intelligence agencies at the time. The Russia hoax was a blatant lie, all ginned up by Democrat political operatives that were signed off on by then President Obama and leaked to the news media to launch a years-long witch hunt against President Trump and his first administration. Allies of the president, including his own son, Donald Trump Jr., were disgustingly smeared as Russian assets, and some even had their lives destroyed because of this vicious lie. The president's first 2 years in office had this fake distraction hanging over it, and endless resources, time, and political capital were spent having to debunk these lies from the highest levels of our government. Now, nearly 10 years later, thanks to the declassification of documents by Director Gabbard, the truth has finally come to light. And this truth vindicates President Trump, his family, and his many allies and associates who were smeared with defamatory lies. President Trump was right from the beginning about all of this, and we are grateful that justice can be served. Now, we have even more damning evidence implicating those who tried to sabotage a duly elected president and did grave material harm to our republic.
I got to stop this right here. They had a no kings protest, right? No kings rallies. And usually, you would think that something like that is supposed to be very serious. We got to take it very serious. There's a whole bunch of people coming out and saying that there should be no kings, that Trump is a king. Is this evidence not fascism? Is this not fascism trying to stop Trump from becoming president? Is this not like spying on his campaign, sabotaging his campaign, trying to make sure that he's not the president of the United States, even though he was duly elected? Hillary Clinton was so destined to win by these actors that this guy came and ruined all their plans, literally, stopped their wars, tries to stop their wars, right? And then 2020 happens. So again, you want to talk about no kings. These are the people that will literally murder you for what you stand for if you don't agree with them, or try to fight you or try to kick you out. So again, I think it's pretty crazy of how evident now it is and clear it is. It's become that the real kings are the people that have been in Congress for decades, holding the government hostage. How many years has a guy like Chuck Schumer been in Congress? I mean, in the Senate, excuse me. Or he's been involved in politics and in the government for a very long time, for over 40, 50 years. Nancy Pelosi was involved for so long. Chuck Grass. I mean, so many different names that you can come up with as to who have been democratically on the side of the Democrats, who have been around for a long time. We could say the same thing probably about Republicans as well. But I think it's pretty crazy now watching all of this unfold that a guy like Barack Obama is now talking about, oh, he's worried about democracy. What are you talking about? You literally did all of this to sabotage this man from becoming president. But now all the proof is coming out and people are getting indicted. John Bolton has been indicted. These are people that frequently went on CNN, MSNBC to fire back against President Trump. But there's more. Let's actually keep listening here, because there is more that was uncovered. Let's keep listening.
Thanks to additional important work done by CIA Director Ratcliffe, Committee Chairman Rick Crawford over the past few months, a newly declassified 2020 report prepared by the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, which DNI Director Gabbard has declassified, found that the intel community did not have any direct information that Russian President Vladimir Putin wanted to help elect President Trump in 2016. And in fact, Russia was actively preparing for a Hillary Clinton victory. But at the unusual direction of Barack Obama at the time, the intel community published implausible intelligence suggesting otherwise. Why? To sabotage the incoming president. This is truly one of the greatest political scandals in American history. And reporters at legacy outlets, some of which are sitting in this room today, like the New York Times and the Washington Post, were ridiculously awarded Pulitzer Prizes for their perpetuation of this hoax. It's well past time for those awards to be stripped from the journalists who receive them. It is not journalism to propagate political disinformation in service of the Democrat Party and those in the intelligence community who hand over out of context and fake intelligence to push a false political narrative.
Oh my God. She literally told them they should be stripped from their accolades as to these coverings of these stories. Again, when you think about how much of an outsider Trump really has been and was at that time, you think about how this was all orchestrated to make sure that he doesn't become president. And then people were receiving awards behind these stories. That is absolutely blasphemous. That is actually crazy. And this is such an uncovering, maybe some of you guys have seen this video before or not, but I think it should be shared over and over and over again, because it should let you know exactly what the Democrats have been hiding from the public, right? And it's not even only that. It's just the fact that they can go flat out, go out there to the public and tell you about the No Kings protests and rallies and how we're losing our democracy and how we're losing it all. But yet they tried to do this. And this is who they've been this whole time. They want to tell you about no kings. This is why America's government is so weird to me. It is so weird that the people that follow politics aren't aware of things like this. Well, here's the DNI. Speaking of all of this, I want to make sure that I show you guys this video as well. I'm going to leave you guys with this one. This is the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, speaking of all of this again.
Because people can go and read for themselves. Go to odni.gov. There you can click through. You can read the documents for themselves. This is not my view or my opinion or my interpretation. Go and read the documents yourself. Look at the emails that were sent from James Clapper's assistant out to the intelligence community, communicating that this assessment will be created per the president's direction. Read the documents for yourself. And then you can see, as you go through the documents, how in the months leading up to the election, the intelligence community consistently assessed that Russia had neither the intent nor the capability to be able to influence or swing the election for Donald Trump. And that's a critical statement there, because in the assessment that President Obama ordered, and you'll again see in the documents with great detail how he wanted an assessment that delivered intelligence that details how Moscow tried to help Trump get elected, not if, but how. And then DNI Clapper and CIA Director John Brennan delivered for President Obama through this manufactured intelligence assessment, again, based on discredited information and shoddy intelligence that was weaponized for a very specific political purpose.